Good day. It's a nice day for a blizzard. I'm home watching the blizzard. There's about 6 more inches, I think, to fall. Well, it's a good time to visit with people about dentistry. And today I wanted to add a little bit to the last video we made about pocket measuring, that kind of thing. Uh, I just I think I skipped some stuff I shouldn't have. And one of it is this. Okay, here's the information, doc, or patients. Now, what do I do? Well, Stig said something to me just this morning about, most dentists practice in small towns all over the Midwest here. And the family dentists in the smaller cities, they have to really know one heck of a lot about everything, not just orthodontics or uh, surgery. The family dentist has got to know, and he's got to know right away because the closest dentist is 53 miles away. Or, there's only three of us here and there's two on vacation. So I, I want to get into this, pick up on this idea of kind of pushing dentists around. Like, who are the kings in dentistry? Well, when I was a kid, the surgeons, and then it became it was the crowns. Everybody needed a crown. Everybody needed a root canal during a period of time, and now everybody needs periodontal surgery, or everybody needs uh, implants. Okay, before you go into the idea of either measuring pockets yourself as a dentist or a hygienist, or being a patient, before you get into that, I would suggest what you do so that you get an accurate, safe diagnostic. If you're going to be measuring all of these pockets, it better be right and it better be safe. And then stop letting people scare you about whether you recorded this or whether you recorded that or whether the pockets was five or. Uh, let's start at the beginning of the appointment. Look in the mouth. Look at their body. Look at their body language and see what's going on. Listen to their complaint. Look right there in front of you because there's the answer before you do anything. Because if there's a problem here and you're a dentist and you're in trouble over dentistry, just remember that the last dentist that looks in her mouth owns it all. Now that's scary, but it's a very important thing when you approach it in a positive way. If dentist specialists are scaring the hell out of general practitioner, that ain't smart. It's not smart for business. It's not smart for dentistry, and it certainly is not smart for patients. Another thing you might do before you go digging around with jabbing around is, where is the calculus? Where is that tartar in the mouth? Where is it here? Is it there? Is it and what's the color of it? You better have that in your head before you're measuring pockets. And a good idea before you measure your pockets, take an x-ray. Take a few x-rays. Take a panoramic x-ray. Or just take an x-ray of number 8 and 9. That'd be the smartest thing you could do, because that tells you a whole lot before you get into any other kind of measurements. Check the fat pad. Is there a fat pad up under here in the anterior palate, right behind number 8 and 9, the ones you want an x-ray of? Get an idea, what's the fat pad like? I mean, it's right there in the open. I always say, right there, dude. Because that's important to know before you go doing anything. Cold test those anterior teeth. Takes 10 to 15 seconds to cold test those two teeth with endo ice. What's endo ice? Well, any dentist can get endo ice and use it in three minutes. They know what's going on, and everything. Dentists are smart. And by the way, those dentists that are all over the Midwest in these small towns, they are smart. They are in the trenches. I don't like to mess with those people. No, I've been to Iowa. Terrific place. Dentists. Oh, by the way, this morning we learned that another dentist, since they're doing this in the Midwest, and I don't know, California too, about ruining a dentist because they didn't measure this, they didn't measure that, and they just moved out of there. I don't know, state Kansas or Missouri, could have been maybe Iowa. He just moved out, quit practicing, moved to another state. Is that really helping dentistry, or is it helping patients? Well, I'll tell you this, the patients in the other state he went to helps them a lot. So here's a very clever thing to do before you begin to do all of the stabbing called pockets, measuring pockets. Before, give your patient some good rinse, or we have a rinse called Oracal. It's really excellent. You brush your teeth with it. Here, take this home, get a soft toothbrush, and use that rinse when you brush your teeth. And then I'll see you in a couple of weeks, and we'll check out those, we'll get those checked out. We just want you to go home. And don't use anything else. Even if you're going to use just water and a soft brush to brush your teeth, do it. Take your time. Do it in 3 minutes, 10 minutes, not 30 seconds, 50 seconds. And do that, and then you come in and I'll measure those pockets if you want me to. And so another thing we tell them, stop using this floss all the time, going in to clean all those teeth out. Stop doing that, because it's really damaging things. Use that neat toothbrush of yours, soft and real comfortable, because it was proven a long time ago. If you brush your teeth like we would like to have you brush your teeth in a very good, complete way, you can neutralize the pockets. Yes, you can bring down the bacterial activity of the pockets. Wouldn't that be the smart thing to do before you started measure them? Yes. So don't use any miracle paste. You ever look at the 16 ingredients in different brush paste? It's terrible. Doesn't help at all. And just record all of these things. And if the patient wants all 28 of those measurements and stabbing around, and then okay, go ahead, get a better diagnosis and measure the pockets, okay? Then you will have a safe, complete measurement diagnosis of the pockets. You will meet the law of the pockets. You see? Do these very smart things, very safe things, and then you will be you don't want to be against the law. No. You will be in you won't get thrown in jail. You won't get ruined. They won't let you practice for 5 years. That's out. That's just absolutely unforgivable. Gee, when when I think of a lot of dentists that I've known getting treated that way, how dumb can you be? The state says you have to measure pockets before you can really get into the work of solving problems. In our history, just a few last time or two, in the 80s, we went to Washington, the United States government, and asked them to check out the calcium therapy. And they said, in 10 minutes, they said, go home. This is a new advanced, very advanced therapy for periodontal disease. So go ahead and look into it and do that. Whatever anybody says, do it. In the 90s, we got into the osteoendocystic therapy. Now, you probably never heard of that. Well, does that mean it doesn't exist? I don't think so. We're using it to literally cure periodontal disease every day of the year. And people come from all over the world. So what we want to do, dentists, hygienists, and patients, we want to teach you, because that's the only way you're ever going to learn it. We've had too much of these kings of dentistry telling people what to do, when the real people, the real dentists are out there. Oh my God, they don't have time to do much of anything except take care of people, their dental problems. And we'll do it for nothing. We don't care whether you pay us or not. I'd rather you not, really. As long as you really will use it, at least try it. I don't mean you have to use this for 16 years before you ever, you'll know in 2 weeks whether it's worth it and whether it works. And your patients will know it in 10 minutes. And then if they want to go ahead and do all the measuring, okay. And lastly, what we're learning in 2020 or before, but something good happened in 2020, is zinc. Now we're figuring out how and why to use zinc materials for the skin. Can you think of any better thing to use for the skin? Is something that has zinc in it? We'll teach you that too. We call it full body therapy, zinc therapy. Thank you. I got to get out and start shoveling snow in Omaha. Well, okay.